Jack and Tu Tien began a loving prenatal education journey for their child. Each whisper, each sweet melody was sent. And then a miracle happened. The baby in the womb suddenly reacted as if responding to the parents' love. This is an unforgettable moment in the prenatal education diary of the small family. Sparkling Heart. The sweet honeymoon ended. Jack and Tu Tien returned to their normal lives. The romantic days at the beach, the afternoons holding hands under the sunset now only remained as beautiful memories for both of them to keep. Before their eyes was the real family life, with so many things to worry about and prepare, especially when Tu Tien was carrying a small creature in her belly, the crystallization of love. This morning, Jack specially arranged his work to take his wife to the maternity health care center. The topic of this class was prenatal education, an important content that both husband and wife were very interested in. Entering the spacious classroom, the gentle space with melodious music, Tu Tien felt her heart calm down. She gently placed her hand on her belly, smiling when thinking of her child. Jack sat right next to her, his eyes always following his wife, full of care and happiness. The instructor began the session by explaining the importance of prenatal education, not only helping the baby develop intellectually and emotionally while still in the womb, but also creating a special bond between parent and child. Hearing this, Jack held Tu Tien's hand even tighter, his heart filled with an indescribable sacred feeling. 2. Fetal education, as the instructor explained, is not something too complicated. It is a series of small actions but requires perseverance and love. First is fetal education through music. The mother should listen to soft music with pure melodies, and at the same time sing lullabies, whisper stories, and loving words to the baby. When hearing this, Jack smiled, thinking of the evenings when he would sit by the guitar, gently playing soft music for his wife and child to enjoy. He believes that, even though the baby has not been born yet, each note, each melody will touch that young soul. Next is fetal education through words and positive emotions. The mother should read books, fairy tales, and stories full of humanity for the baby to listen and feel. Every day, even if it is just a few minutes of conversation, parents should whisper to their children, call them by their affectionate names, and share their dreams and joys. Tu Tien imagined her lying on her side, whispering softly, "My dear, today your parents worked hard. Are you happy with them?" Simple sentences but containing so much affection, helping the baby feel the warmth of family love. Prenatal education through movement and body care is indispensable. The mother needs to walk gently, practice yoga for pregnant women, graceful movements that both help the body stay healthy and create relaxation. When Jack heard this, he promised himself to go for a walk with his wife every afternoon. Instead of letting her go alone, he knew that each tight embrace, each step walking together was also a great way to educate the fetus. Another important part is nutritional prenatal education. The mother does not only eat to be full, but also eat to nourish the baby. A balanced diet, full of nutrients, from cereals, vegetables, meat, fish, to milk and vitamins, will help the baby develop comprehensively. Tu Tien was a meticulous person, but now she pays even more attention. Jack silently promised himself that every evening he would cook a few dishes that the doctor recommended, so that his wife could enjoy them and feel assured that the baby was being nourished with the best. Finally, spiritual prenatal education is indispensable. The mother must keep her mind at peace, avoiding anxiety and sadness. Jack understands that this is the most important thing. Therefore, he always tries to make sure Tu Tien does not have to worry too much. From housework to work, he hopes that she only needs to keep a smile and peace, so that each passing day is a source of positive energy for both mother and child. When the class ended, Jack gently helped his wife stand up. The two looked at each other and smiled, a simple but extremely sacred happiness rising in their hearts. They understood that life after the honeymoon could be busy, but the greatest joy was taking care of the baby together. Prenatal education is not only the process of preparing the child for a bright future, but also the journey of bonding love, so that from now on, the small family will be more stable and full of love. That morning, sunlight filtered through the window into the warm bedroom. Tu Tien woke up in Jack's arms, hearing the chirping of birds in the garden. She smiled slightly, placing her hand on her belly, where a small creature was growing every day. Remembering yesterday's prenatal education class, her heart fluttered. Today would be the first day the couple officially began this special journey. Jack was still sleeping soundly, his messy hair lightly covering his forehead. Looking at her husband, Tu Tien felt strangely peaceful. She gently shook his shoulder. Jack, wake up. We have a new schedule today. Jack opened his eyes. A smile appeared. I know. Today Mom and Dad will start teaching you how to love. Morning. Music for the baby. After a light breakfast, Jack brought the guitar out to the porch. The sound of the guitar rang out clearly. Each melody seemed to blend with the early morning sunlight. He chose a gentle song, then sang softly, his deep voice touching the space. My dear, today I will play for you. Sleep well in your mother's arms. And grow up healthy. Tu Tien sat beside him, her hand on her belly, feeling every beat in her body. Sometimes she felt her belly move slightly, as if her baby was responding to her father's guitar. She smiled happily, whispering, Can you hear me playing? Do you like it too? At that moment, the three of them seemed to be conversing in their own language. The language of love and connection. Noon, the first story. After resting, Tu Tien took out a fairy tale book that she loved since childhood. She read it out loud. Slowly and gently, Jack sat next to her, sometimes adding a few humorous sentences that made both of them laugh. Honey, this is the story, Little Red Riding Hood. Mom will read it to you. Reading to the part where the little girl meets the wolf, Jack leaned close to his wife's belly, imitating the wolf's voice. Little girl, where are you going? Tu Tien giggled, then continued the story. Both of them knew that the child did not understand, but it was that companionship that made the family atmosphere warmer. After reading, Jack whispered to his child, Honey, later on I will tell you many stories, including the story of how your parents met. Afternoon, a loving meal. At lunchtime, Jack rolled up his sleeves and went into the kitchen. He wanted to prepare a nutritious menu that was right for prenatal education. Today he cooked salmon with orange sauce, with stewed vegetable soup and some oatmeal mixed with fruit yogurt. While Jack was busy, Tu Tien sat at the table, watching and smiling. She never thought that her husband, a man who was used to hard work, could patiently cut each piece of vegetable, seasoning each bit of salt like that. When serving it to the table, Jack carefully said, This is a meal for the two of you. Dad hopes you enjoy it with Mom. Tu Tien picked up a piece of fish, ate it and smiled. It's delicious, my child. Your dad is really skillful. The atmosphere of the meal was filled with love. Each bite not only nourishes the body but also the soul. Afternoon and evening, exercise together. The afternoon was cool. Jack took his wife to the park near their house. The two of them walked slowly on the road covered with yellow leaves. Jack always held Tu Tien's hand tightly, occasionally asking, Are you tired? Walk slowly. I'm fine, with you by my side. I don't feel tired at all. Each step was a loving tap sent to the baby. Tu Tien felt the connection, not only between husband and wife but also with the little creature growing every day. When they got home, they practiced some simple yoga moves for pregnant women. Jack didn't just stand and watch. He also did them, although he was a bit clumsy. Tu Tien laughed out loud when she saw her husband wobble with the bridge move. But it was that clumsiness that made the atmosphere more cheerful. Evening, a peaceful moment. After a whole day, the two of them sat on the bed. The light was soft yellow. Jack took out the diary for children that he had prepared. He wrote a few lines. On the first day, Mom and Dad taught you with music, stories, food and steps. You were very good, sometimes even kicking lightly in response. Mom and Dad believed that you were listening and smiling with us. Tu Tien read it again, her eyes filled with emotion. She leaned her head on Jack's shoulder and said softly, I'm so happy, Jack. He put his arms around his wife, placed his hand on her belly and whispered, Me too, my dear. Sleep well. Tomorrow Mom and Dad will continue this journey with you. That night, in the small room, 3 hearts beat as one. Prenatal education is not just a way of teaching, but a journey of love, a journey that Jack and Tu Tien began with all their respect, faith and hope. Day 2, the pregnant education journey. In the morning, when Jack was getting ready for work, he stopped for a long time by the bed, put his hand on his wife's belly and said, My dear, today I have to go out for a bit, but I will bring you a surprise. During the day, Jack bought a set of hardcover fairy tales, illustrated with beautiful colors. In the evening, he gave it to his wife, his eyes sparkling like a child showing off a gift. Tu Tien immediately chose the story, The 100-Joint Bamboo. Her gentle voice resounded in the room. Jack sat next to her, listening and thinking he was also returning to his childhood. When he reached the end, Tu Tien put the book down and whispered, "My child, this story teaches that perseverance and kindness will help you win. I hope that in the future you will also become a loving person." Living sincerely, Jack sat silently, his heart filled with tears. He understands that prenatal education not only nurtures the child's intelligence, but is also the time for parents to instill beautiful life values. Blank, underscore, blank. A week passed, and prenatal education gradually became a habit. Tonight, Jack suddenly brought out a small speaker and played a gentle Mozart song. Tu Tien lay back on the chair, her eyes slightly closed, her hand stroking her belly. The music started, but Jack did not stop there. He took out his guitar and started playing along with the melody, turning the evening into a small family concert. Tu Tien laughed. "Your dad prepared so carefully. My dear, you will probably love music in the future." That warm atmosphere spread throughout the house. Tu Tien saw her baby move, her belly slightly bulging. She was touched. "Jack, I'm really listening." Jack stopped playing the guitar and leaned close to her belly. "Baby, if you like it, kick me again and let me know." Sure enough, a few seconds later, Tu Tien's belly moved again. Both of them burst into laughter. That night, they wrote in their diary, for the first time, "My baby clearly reacted to my music." It had been exactly 1 month since the start of prenatal education. Early in the morning, Jack prepared a surprise for his wife, a small photo album. He pasted in it photos of moments from the past month, Tu Tien reading stories, the two of them walking in the park, the meals Jack cooked. On each photo, he wrote a small note. "The moment Mom read the first story to you. The meal Dad cooked with all his love. The first time you kicked while listening to music." Tu Tien flipped through each page, tears rolling down her face with happiness. She hugged the album to her chest and whispered, "My dear, you are so lucky to have such a wonderful father." That evening, they both sat down and wrote in their child's diary. After 1 month of prenatal education, Mom and Dad have learned many things. Most importantly, we feel more connected than ever. You are not only a source of happiness, but also the reason why Mom and Dad love each other more. The small house was plunged into darkness, but in their hearts a warm fire was burning brightly.